Was that a... Wow.
Live from the Don and Lorena Meyer studio at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln College of Journalism and Mass Communications, this is Nebraska Nightly.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nebraska Nightly. I'm Rachel Miller.
And I'm Dawson Iasilo. Nebraska Nightly's Sophie Farrell sits down with ASUN President Libby Wilkins.
But first, UNL students join Lincoln residents for the Charlie Kirk Vigil. That's our top story tonight. On Wednesday, UNL's chapter of Turning Point USA held a candlelight vigil to honor Charlie Kirk.
Nebraska Nightly's Hudson Carrico was at the Union where more than 600 students gathered in memory of the young conservative activist.
Nearly a week after the death of Charlie Kirk, hundreds of students and Lincoln residents gathered outside the Union Wednesday night for a vigil honoring him. Turning Point USA UNL chapter president Ethne Barnhouse says the vigil was to honor Kirk's legacy and help people say goodbye.
I hope that people can have some sort of closure and focus on where Charlie is today rather than what happened to him on September 10th.
The event brought together not only students, but also leaders in Nebraska. Governor Jim Pillen led the vigil on prayer alongside Nebraska middle blocker Rebecca Alec.
God bless you. May God bless America. And may God help us all.
The UNL College Republicans were also there, including Nicholas Stefanik, the secretary, who says he felt a responsibility to attend.
I think that as someone that met him, being here tonight, I think means a lot to me. If his family sees this, it means a lot to his family and means a lot to the political divide in this country.
The UNL chapter of Turning Point USA will meet next Thursday, September 25th at Selleck Dining Hall. For more information, you can visit their homepage at Involve You. From Nebraska Nightly, this has been Hudson Carrico.
We have a cloudy weekend this weekend. Jamison Nichols has our weather next.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Dawson. Tonight we're looking at some storms. It's going to be the higher 60s, but tomorrow's going to be a much more beautiful day. We're going to have some sun. That rain's going to really cool everything, and we're looking at a great day tomorrow. Back to you.
We've all heard that the Nebraska prison system is overcrowded, and now there is an effort to do something about it. The Nebraska Department of Correctional Services is proposing a new program for inmates to serve part of their sentences at an off-site private residence. In addition to that, they are now building a new facility in North Lincoln to replace the existing Nebraska State Penitentiary. These methods aim to reduce the current operational capacity of 140% that the system is experiencing.
Governor Jim Pillen is challenging Nebraska drivers to put down their phones and reduce their speed. Pillen says putting the, quote, dumb phone down and slowing down, we can save lives after more than 250 traffic deaths in 2024. The State House passed LB 530 to increase speeding ticket fines, now LB 594. Being introduced to ban all handheld communications while driving. In the words of the governor, the stakes are high and we need to put the phones down. There are almost 1,000 adoptable cats in Lincoln, and one organization seeks to help in lowering those numbers.
Nebraska Nightly's Nora Fleming sits down with the founder of Stray by the Bay.
Tonight I'm joined by Emily Cancelmo and a special guest. Today we're here to talk about Stray by the Bay. So Emily, can you tell us just a little bit about it and what your plans are for Stray by the Bay?
Yeah, so Stray by the Bay is going to be Lincoln's first cat cafe. So it'll be half coffee shop, half cat adoption center. You'll be able to come in, get a drink and a snack, and hang out in our cat room full of adoptable cats. Cats are going to be from local rescues in and around Lincoln. So we're teamed up with the Capital Humane Society and the Beatrice Humane Society. So really the whole idea is to get cats out of the shelter, out of cages. They'll be free roaming in our adoptable cat room, getting a little bit more enriched and socialized before they get adopted.
That is so fun. I think it is a cool alternative to normal coffee shops. So I guess what inspired you to start up this cat cafe?
Stray by the Bay was inspired by my cat when I first adopted her. Squid's now 15, but when I first adopted her, I didn't think that I was a cat person. Our family cat didn't really like me when I was growing up, but I think I was just a bit too much for her. But I met Squid at my vet job back in New Jersey. She had been surrendered 6 months beforehand, and she had just been sitting in a cage since. And I just kind of fell in love with her, brought her home, and she really opened my eyes to cats in general. And I just don't want to see cats in cages anymore. So the whole idea is to just get them a bit more ready for adoption.
That is such a sweet goal. I definitely think cats do that to you. They trap you in sometimes.
They do.
And so walk us through your next steps for Stray by the Bay.
Yeah, so at the moment we're working on getting our physical location. Once we are able to obtain that, we're going to start renovations on it. No space is made to have half coffee shop, half cat adoption center at the moment, and health code doesn't let you just have cats in a coffee shop. So we're gonna renovate our space once we find it. And once renovations are done, we'll have our grand opening and we'll be able to welcome Lincoln into their very first cat cafe.
I'm so excited for that one. So then can you tell us how can students and some of our audience members even help out with those renovations?
Yeah, so at the moment we have our GoFundMe fundraiser going on. It's been going on for about a month. We're close to our first goal of $5,000, but our ultimate goal is $30,000 so that we can get all the license, permits, fees, and renovations that need to be done for our space. We also have merch at our partner at Superior Veterinary Care over on the north side of Lincoln, and we're at a couple events even this weekend. We'll be at the Food Truck Festival on Saturday, and then we'll be at the Uniplace Makers Market on Sunday.
Perfect, that's good to hear. And then finally, could you just tell us a little bit about our special guest?
Yeah, so we have Puddin. He is our foster from the Beatrice Humane Society. He was brought in as a stray. He had a broken leg and a flea infestation, so he was severely anemic. We had to get that under control first, so he got a couple of blood transfusions. That way his blood cells levels could go back to normal before he could get that leg amputation. So he's with us for 2 weeks until he is all healed up and ready to be adopted.
Well, that is such a sweet goal, and I'm so excited to see what comes next. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a fantastic night.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.
We're looking at a cloudy few days heading into game day.
After the break, forecaster Jamison Nichols has more. Stick with us.
Need for blood never stops. And at the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, your blood could help save lives. Right now, only 7% of the population donates blood. But imagine if there were more.
We're sitting at below a 7-day level of supply of all blood types across the board. So every blood type is important, and we need all donors of all types to come in and donate right now.
At the Nebraska Community Blood Bank, they believe that all types make a strong blood supply.
Social media is a daily part of many college students' lives, something we've become used to, but it can also be overwhelming and draining. Studies show that taking regular breaks from social media reduces stress and improves mental health. Too much screen time has been proven to increase anxiety, while stepping away helps you reconnect with the world around you. Take a break. Protect your mental health.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. Let's take a look at our weather headlines here. Going into tonight, we're going to have increasing clouds and rain, and possibly some severe thunderstorms. That's a stark contrast to what tomorrow's looking like. It's going to be a beautiful day. More on that in a bit. Overnight, like I stated, showers and storms are definitely possible. Currently in Lincoln, we're looking at some isolated thunderstorms. Temperatures in the mid-70s, winds northwest at about 6 miles per hour. That's going to pick up. Taking a look here at radar, we can see there's a huge system starting here at the Maple Creek area, extending down through Columbus, down to Grand Island, and you can't see it, but down even into northern Kansas, these storms are persisting. And about an hour and 30 minutes ago, there was even a radar indicated tornado. Taking a look here at our satellite imagery, you can see this huge cloud bank right here in this area. I want you to take a look. That's where these thunderstorms are building, and these are going to continue building as they move east. Taking a look at our weather going into tonight. We started off today with some really good sunlight, and those temperatures just continued to increase as the sun stayed out. Pushing into 2, 3, 4 p.m., clouds started to push in, and now we're looking at these storms. Now let's look at our statewide temperatures. Out here in western Nebraska, Chattering, Scottsbluff, we're looking at some 60-degree weather. That's a contrast down here into southern Nebraska where the temperatures got a little warmer today. Specifically here in southeastern Nebraska, those temperatures got to the mid-70s in the Beatrice and the Hebron area. Friday night tonight, we're looking at more storms, like I've stated, with those winds pushing up to even 30 miles per hour. Storm Prediction Center did issue a marginal risk for much of Kansas into southern Nebraska, along with a 2% chance of tornadoes and a 5% chance of hail. So make sure you're staying clear, and if you see those storms coming in, make sure you take precautions. Back to you.
ABC's decision to indefinitely pull Jimmy Kimmel's late night show from the airwaves has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and sparked concerns about the Trump administration cracking down on free speech. Karen Kaifa reports on the reactions from Washington.
President Donald Trump traveling in the United Kingdom Thursday, brushing off free speech concerns after ABC's sidelining of late-night host Jimmy Kimmel back home.
He said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk, and Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
Kimmel's indefinite suspension was announced Wednesday, and just hours after Federal Communications Commission Chair Brendan Carr threatened to take action against ABC and parent company Disney if they did not address comments Kimmel made about the MAGA movement's reaction to the killing of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Carr on CNBC Thursday morning said broadcast television licenses require a certain standard.
I've been clear, we're reinvigorating the FCC's enforcement of public interest, and it's a good thing.
But some Democrats fear a Trump administration crackdown on free speech and expression.
Donald Trump, in the wake of the tragic murder of Charlie Kirk, has decided to exploit that tragedy to try to silence his political opponents. I think Kimmel is just the beginning.
Some Republicans arguing ABC simply made a business decision.
ABC is a private company, and they can make their own choices on who they want to wear their brand, so to speak.
Despite declining viewership for late-night TV, Kimmel's program has been holding an audience, especially among the key demographic of viewers ages 25 to 54. In Washington, I'm Karen Kaifa.
A plant explosion that happened in Fremont in July that killed 2 girls has new evidence as to why the explosion occurred.
3 flowers on a fence outside the Horizon biofuel plants in Fremont honor the lives lost. 32-year-old Dylan Danielson and his 2 daughters, 12-year-old Haven and 8-year-old Faya. Midday on July 29th, the South Fremont plant exploded. The girls were in the break room waiting for their father ahead of a doctor's appointment. According to a new report from the U.S. Chemical Safety and Hazard Investigation Board, the general manager of the plant was working from home when he heard about the explosion. He called the day shift operator, Danielson, who answered and said he was trapped. Danielson then called his wife and told her he was pinned down. The report says the break room where the girls were waiting was part of the structure that immediately collapsed. It says witnesses heard the operator call for help. Some of them entered the collapsed warehouse area but couldn't reach Danielson.
Investigators say they still haven't been able to go inside the building to investigate further. That's because it's unsafe. You can see it appears almost untouched since that explosion, and investigators say it could collapse at any time.
The report again confirms it was a combustible dust explosion, though the board's still working on what led to it. Regardless, the chair of the board says in a statement, quote, "This terrible tragedy should not have happened." Another board member says they're, quote, "committed to a thorough, independent investigation. We owe it to the victims, their families, and the broader community to identify the root causes and share important safety lessons."
Officials said they also plan to continue to look into the facility and its dust control systems.
Coming up next on Nebraska Nightly, Sophie Farrell sits down with student body president Libby Wilkins to discuss how the student body is reacting to the budget cuts.
After the break, Wilkins will discuss how students are reacting to the budget cuts.
Many of the brands you love don't love animals like you do. Look at the labels of products you use for a bunny logo signifying they don't lab test on animals. Check the label for those who aren't able. Start making the shift by visiting crueltyfreekitty.com today.
Okay, so how about this much?
I don't know.
Well, how about this much?
I don't know.
How about,
Actually, I don't know.
okay, maybe this much?
I don't know.
The very tip of your pencil, a fraction of a raindrop, 3 grains of salt. That's how much it takes for a dose of fentanyl to become lethal. Learn more at realdealonfentanyl.com.
As soon as I kicked one of my buddies in the head, I was like, yeah, we gotta go after that.
I take back what I said.
Hey, done for the day?
Yeah, just kind of maxed out on people.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
You know, thanks for asking. I have been feeling just kind of off lately.
Do you want me to
Concerned about a friend? Just ask and refer them to counseling and psychological services at UNL.
Back to Nebraska Nightly, I'm Sophie Farrell. Joined with me is our student body president and student regent, Libby Wilkins, who's going to help us better understand the budget cut proposal and what that means for Nebraska students. So Libby, can you first walk us through, we got that email kind of outlaying the budget cuts. What is the process now going to look like from this email to when those budget cuts are actually going to be in place?
Yeah, so that email from the chancellor was a proposal of the initial budget reduction process. It then goes through the academic planning committee, which is a group of faculty members, staff members, deans, a student representative who look through that proposal. We have hearings for each affected program, and then we give a proposal back to the chancellor for final review, and then it's his job to take action on what's to come. And I think that's something really unique about UNL, is that we have this shared governance process, unlike any other University of Nebraska system campus.
Yeah, so when is that final, kind of just around a time frame when that final budget proposal, when is that going to come out?
The final
budget cuts.
Yeah, those will be voted on at the December board meeting.
Okay, perfect,
yeah.
perfect. So I know there's definitely students who are concerned about these cuts that are happening and whose programs, especially students whose programs have been affected. What would you say to them to kind of better understand what's going on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our president, chancellor, academic planning committee members have done truly everything in our power to make sure that this is a process that is affecting the students as little as we possibly can. But ultimately, we're looking at a $27.5 million budget reduction upon millions upon millions upon millions of dollars that have been reduced in the past 5 years. And so at this point, we are having to start to cut into the bone of this university. And as little as everyone involved wants to do that, that's where we're sitting. And whether it's this program or that, nobody wants to be in that position, but we have to make really challenging decisions.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I know it's kind of a hard time to think of the positives, but do you see any silver linings about kind of reducing our programs and like the budget cuts ahead?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, during this budget reduction process, that's been one of the things that we're talking about is one of the things that we can't control, right, is how much state appropriation we get, the research dollars that we get from the federal government. What we can guarantee is our recruitment, our retention, and just continuing that. And so our positive looking programs are continuing to grow, which is always a silver lining.
Awesome. And then what, if students are wanting more information and the chance to voice their concerns or opinions, where would you direct them to?
The Academic Planning Committee has a website where all student, stakeholder, anyone can submit a comment, and that goes to every Academic Planning Committee member. So I would encourage people to visit that website. It's the first thing that pops up on the website. And also just follow along within the ASUN Instagram page. We'll have updates about what's going on with the budget reduction process.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Libby, for joining us. Back to you guys at the desk.
Coming up on Nebraska Nightly, Nebraska continues to prepare to take on the Michigan Wolverines.
And head coach John Cook has his legacy cemented in bronze.
On Nebraska Nightly.
On average, every Big Ten student wastes 112 pounds of garbage each year, but there's a fix. Make sure you use an Aussie when you dine in and be a part of the change.
Nearly 1 in 3 Husker students struggle with food insecurity. Husker Pantry addresses food insecurity and a welcoming space by providing free food and personal items to UNL students in need. Due to high demand, the pantry often runs out of essential items. Help keep the pantry stocked by donating the most needed items. From canned food to personal items and cleaning supplies, you can make a difference by donating. Learn how to donate by visiting pantry.unl.edu.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly Sports. I am Dalen Muse, and thank you for joining us. The University of Nebraska unveiled its statue of John Cook yesterday evening. No time has been wasted in honoring the legendary volleyball coach. He retired less than 8 months ago, but the university has already honored him, naming the John Cook Arena after him, and now a bronze replica standing outside of the Bob.
Nebraska volleyball and what is done in this country and how we've set the standard for everybody else in this country.
Everybody sitting here knows what John's done as far as wins, losses in the community for the university, but it's really amazing what he's done for our sport.
So thank you very much for being here. Go Big Red. There's no place like Nebraska.
Along with his statue, Cook's 25 seasons and 4 national championships will go down in Nebraska history. Nebraska football will have their biggest test of the season yet tomorrow afternoon. They face off the ranked Michigan Wolverines. Coach Matt Rule told the media that the Huskers are not afraid of the limelight.
I'm excited about it. This is why you came to Nebraska, to play these games. We had a vision of being a program that would be relevant nationally. not for our history only, but for what we're doing right now. I just personally believe at the University of Nebraska, every game is a big game because we're playing it. And as soon as we all have that mindset in the locker room and in the building, then we'll be awesome.
Nebraska and Michigan will kick off tomorrow at 2:30 in Memorial Stadium. The Huskers have not beaten the Wolverines in over a decade. Their last win was in 2013. The game can be streamed on CBS. That's all we got for sports tonight. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited for Husker game day.
Oh, I am too. I'm really excited to see if they can pull off this win tomorrow.
There's just nothing like game day in Lincoln. It's
really
the
isn't.
best. And after the break, we'll meet the latest member of the police force. Stick with us.
Of the 40 million tons of plastic waste generated in the U.S. in 2021, only 5% or 2 million tons was recycled. Make sure you do your part in keeping Anderson Hall clean. For more information on recycling statistics, visit epa.gov today.
Welcome back to Nebraska Nightly. Let's meet the latest member of the police force in Albia, Iowa, across the Missouri River.
Officer Bonsai is an honorary police officer, and she just so happens to be a tortoise. Another member of the force rescued Bonsai, who was found wandering around in Wisconsin. And now, that officer is now her workplace caretaker, making sure Bonsai gets plenty of leafy greens and sunny naps.
Bonsai is a sulcata tortoise, an endangered species native to the southern edge of the Sahara Desert, and she's become a hometown mascot in Iowa, making friends wherever she goes. Jamison Nichols has more on the weather. Jamison?
It's going to be a beautiful day today. It's going to be a beautiful day today, folks. It's going to be a beautiful day tomorrow, folks. We're looking at one of the best games here at Nebraska for football. Temperatures in the mid-70s, warming up as the day goes on, and by that kickoff at 2:30, it's going to be pushing 70s, guys. Winds at a pleasant 5 miles per hour, nothing too shabby.
It sounds like it's going to be an amazing game tomorrow with the nice weather. What are your guys' predictions?
I think we'll win.
I think definitely a Husker game day win.
Yeah.
It's interesting that we'll have both two Big Ten schools playing each other. But I think the Huskers will win.
Oh yeah. Yes. I'm hoping they have this pull off a win and keep the streak going with the 4-0 win. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon. Be sure to follow us on social media at Nebraska Nightly to stay up to date.
Our next live show will be on Tuesday at 4:30. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you then.